There's a psychological test happening in the first 30 seconds of meeting any wealthy person, and most people fail it without even knowing they're being evaluated. The subtle cues the elite watch for will determine whether you're seen as an equal or dismissed as someone beneath their social class. So here's what actually happens in those first 30 seconds. The moment you enter their space, wealthy individuals are running what psychologists call rapid social calibration. They're not looking at your clothes or your watch, that's amateur hour. They're watching something far more revealing, your spatial awareness and how you move through their environment. Some wealthy individuals deliberately place expensive art pieces and rare collectibles in unexpected places to observe how visitors react. Do you acknowledge quality without fawning over it? Or do you either ignore everything completely or get visibly uncomfortable around valuable objects? Research suggests that people from different economic backgrounds may move differently in luxurious environments. Some wealthy individuals even watch for what could be called environmental fluency, which is the ability to navigate these environments with quiet confidence rather than obvious discomfort or overcompensating awkwardness. But here's where it gets really interesting. These high net worth individuals are simultaneously testing for something called earned familiarity. If you're too comfortable too quickly, it signals you're performing wealth rather than living it. If you're too uncomfortable, you're telegraphing that you don't belong. The sweet spot? Calm acknowledgement without emotional reaction. You notice the $50,000 sculpture, but you don't need to comment on it or pretend it doesn't exist. But spatial awareness is just the first filter. The real test comes in how you handle the conversation dynamics they set up next. And this is where most people completely blow it. 90 seconds into the conversation, the elite deploy what some behavioral experts call conversational power probes. They're not trying to intimidate you, they're collecting data about your psychological positioning and social intelligence. Here's their playbook. They'll make a casual reference to something exclusive. Maybe they mention flying back from Davos, or dropping a name of someone who moves in rarefied circles, or referencing a private equity deal like it's as normal as discussing the weather. This isn't bragging, it's a sophisticated test. Some wealth advisors may even learn to recognize different response patterns this may trigger. First, there's the impressed reactor, people who get visibly excited or ask probing questions about the exclusive reference. Instant disqualification. Second is the uncomfortable deflector. They change subjects quickly because they feel out of their depth. Another disqualification. Third is what they call the fake insider, someone who pretends to know about Davos or claims connections they don't have. These people get mentally flagged as potentially dishonest. But the fourth response, the contextual acknowledger. They hear the reference and process that it indicates serious wealth and connections, but continue the conversation naturally without emotional reaction. A client of mine witnessed this exact test during a charity auction. A tech billionaire mentioned his foundation's work in sub-Saharan Africa. 3 people immediately started asking detailed questions about impact investing. One person nodded and shifted the conversation to local educational initiatives she actually knew about. Guess who got invited to his private dinner later that month? But there's an even more subtle layer to how they're evaluating your responses. Because they're not just listening to what you say, they're analyzing how you process information under social pressure. The ultra-wealthy use what some researchers call cognitive load testing. They'll introduce multiple complex topics rapid fire while watching how you handle the mental juggling act. Your brain's processing speed and emotional regulation under pressure tells them everything about your executive function and stress tolerance. Here's how it works in practice. A private equity partner I interviewed described his standard approach at networking events. He'll start with casual conversation, then quickly layer in references to market volatility, a recent acquisition deal, concerns about regulatory changes, and maybe a personal challenge like his daughter's boarding school situation. He's created intentional cognitive overload. Most people respond in one of 2 ways that immediately categorize them as outsiders. They either hyper-focus on one topic they think they can contribute to, usually the most accessible one, or they try to address everything and end up giving shallow responses that demonstrate they're overwhelmed. The elite are watching for something entirely different: selective engagement with strategic depth. They want to see you process all the information, then choose one element where you can add genuine value while acknowledging the complexity of the other issues without trying to solve them. A venture capitalist told me about a startup founder who passed this test perfectly. When hit with the cognitive load barrage, she said, "Those regulatory changes sound significant for your timeline, and boarding school decisions are never easy. But you mentioned market volatility. I'm seeing some interesting patterns in our customer acquisition costs that might be relevant to your portfolio companies." She demonstrated processing speed, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking simultaneously. But the most crucial test is still coming. Leans forward. Because everything up to this point has been preliminary screening, the real evaluation happens when they test your relationship with power itself. High net worth individuals deploy what some psychology researchers call hierarchy navigation assessment. They'll create a subtle power dynamic shift to see how you respond when the social stakes change. This isn't about dominance, it's about emotional intelligence under pressure. Here's their most common tactic. Mid-conversation, they'll receive a call or text that requires immediate attention. Maybe it's their assistant with an urgent matter, or a board member needing a quick decision on a multi-million-dollar deal. They'll handle it briefly while you're standing there, then return to the conversation. What they're really doing is observing your comfort level with being temporarily deprioritized. Do you get visibly uncomfortable? Do you check your phone awkwardly? Do you try to eavesdrop on their conversation? Or do you simply wait with quiet confidence, understanding that urgent business sometimes interrupts social interactions? A hedge fund manager shared a perfect example. During a gallery opening, he received a call about a major position that needed immediate attention. One person hovering nearby started fidgeting and making small talk with others, clearly feeling dismissed. Another person stood calmly, occasionally glancing at nearby artwork, completely unbothered by being temporarily on standby. The difference? The first person needed constant social validation and couldn't handle a brief power imbalance. The second understood that truly important business takes precedence over social niceties. This mindset only comes from first-hand experience operating in high-stakes environments. Leans back. So let me tie this all together with a framework you can actually use. These 4 tests work as a complete psychological evaluation system. Test 1. Environmental fluency. Establishes your comfort with high-stakes environments. Test 2. Conversational power probes. Measures your emotional regulation and social intelligence. Test 3. Cognitive load management. Reveals your executive function under pressure. And Test 4. Hierarchy navigation. Assesses your relationship with power dynamics. Here's your practical framework for passing all 4. Master the calm acknowledgement principle. Whether you navigate their space, process their references, negotiate cognitive overload, demonstrate patience during interruptions, or respond to exclusivity, the winning approach is always the same. Calm acknowledgement without emotional reaction. You prove that you're secure enough in your own value not to need external validation, sophisticated enough to recognize quality without being overwhelmed by it, and emotionally intelligent enough to understand social dynamics without being threatened by them. The elite aren't looking for people to impress them. They're looking for peers who can operate at their level with the same psychological sophistication they've developed. Master these tests, and you'll never again wonder why some conversations lead to opportunities while others lead nowhere. Subscribe for more psychology insights into the lifestyles and behaviors of the elite.